Last time we went over some texturing, and so I'm going to review a little bit of that. And I used the entire class last time to go over it, so I didn't give any time for projects. So go ahead and start up Blender and bring up your default cube. Now I'm going to click up here in these three little lines and click and drag and create two windows. I can shut this window off by pressing T. Make that a little bit bigger. Over here, I'll change this one to UV Image Editor. Okay, so we got our cube now, and we want to figure out how to cut this so we can lay it out so we can apply a texture to it. Now, pressing T and over gets that to pop up. If you do N, you get this to pop up. And again, N takes it away. Okay, so I'm going to temporarily put T on and go into Edit. So I do a tab to go into Edit. Got my cube here. There's a tab here that says Shading UVs. Now I'm in edit mode, but I want to specifically choose my edge select down here. It's one little cube with a little yellow on the edge. So I choose that. Now this cube is facing, more or less facing me here. So I want to right click on this edge, hold down my shift key, right click on this one, and right click on this bottom. So it's creating a U. Now at this point, I'll do the mark seam. I'm going to flip it around to the other side. Have a little bit of an angle there so I can easily see the sides. Hold down my shift key, hold down my shift key. Select these sides. And I'll click mark seam. And then I'll rotate it to the bottom and select one of those bottom edges that isn't already selected and choose my mark seam. Now if you do an A to unselect everything, what you should see on this side, you should see a red U. I rotate it around over here, you should see a red U. And then if I scroll down to the bottom, you should see a line going across here, but basically looks like a U also. Now after we got our seams marked, we want to do a U, and then you see there's a unwrap option here. Let me select all of them first. You gotta select all the sides. So I did an A to select everything. Now U and unwrap. And you see them over here. You get that so far? Okay. Now I'm going to shut off that side now. So do a T. Come up here where it says Blender Render. I'm going to choose Cycles Render. Now this is still in edit mode. If I go back to object mode and I select the entire cube, over here in the materials, a little ball, it says use nodes. I can choose use nodes. Okay, so now I'll come back over here, go into edit, and now that I got this up here, I can, they got an image, open image here, but they also got an open here. Not sure why they got both. But if you go to pictures, and I'll choose the Pink Panther, using my mouse wheel to scroll in and scroll out. So we have the image there. You should get the same thing as if you did image, open image. You find it, Jonathan? Not quite. Oh, just choose any image. Word should be fine. That's a good TV show. You ever see that movie?
Yeah.
I love the Purge movies. I never have seen a TV show.
That was a TV show for me. I've seen the movie.
Yeah, there was a TV show on, and I hate those series TV shows because if you miss the first few ones, it's just like you're lost. I never have time to go back and catch up on all the old episodes out there. Okay, so we have this out here now. Over here, if I go into object mode, I have this selected. I'm back to my materials, the ball. In the color, if I do the click there, you see there's an image texture. And then we do the arrows here, and you'll see the image we just loaded, pink, so you can choose the Pink Panther. Now over here, if I do this choice here and I choose texture, you'll see the Pink Panther more or less displayed on there. I chose this option here, this little white ball here, the viewport shading, and chose texture. You do have to have cycles render shows up here. I refreshed my memory while you guys were working on your project. It's like there's so many little pieces that I need to go through and just document, I suppose. Now, this isn't quite like what we maybe want it to be. It's kind of willy-nilly spread throughout the cube. If I go into Edit, and I want to choose the Face Select mode. So I choose this option down here, the cube with the entire side that's orange. Now I can right-click on one of the cubes, or one of the faces, sorry, and you'll see just that one face there. You can right-click on these. There's little vertices there, though you can't see them very well. You do a G for grab, you can move it like this. And you got so much control with this. If you do an A, you may have to do it twice, but you can select all these vertices in here. And now if you do an R for rotate, you can rotate it completely around. Then you see over here that one side has the Pink Panther's face on it. Now I could right-click one of these other faces, and you see it right here. And if I got all of them selected, I may have to do A a couple times, but I can do a G for grab and move this up here. Do an S for scale. Do a G for grab again, move it like that. And again, if I don't like how that's facing, I can do an R for rotate. Probably I can type 90, have it rotate 90 degrees, and press enter. Sometimes using those exact numbers is useful if you want to get to what you're trying to achieve. Now if I right click this, I see it's down here. I'll do a G for grab, move it up here. I'll do an S for scale, make it a little bit bigger. Do a G for grab again, move it down. And that looks like what I'd want, more or less. Right click this last one here. Do a G for grab, move it up here. S for scale, make it a little bit bigger. Do a G, move it down. Looks like I need to rotate it 90, negative 90, or 270. There, enter. Negative 90 is equivalent to 270 degrees. Do a G for grab, move it up. And I see I got those on all four sides there. Maybe I want Pink Panther on top too, so I can right click this. Do G for grab, move it up there. S for scale, G for grab again. And that's probably good there. Now select the bottom. Do a G for grab. S for scale. Now we got the Pink Panther's likeness on all sides. Questions on that part? Now what I want you to do is and you don't have to spend a lot of time on the look and feel unless you want to. But I want you to model a house, put an image of a house, and kind of transform your model such that it fits on the house. Just do the front. Don't worry about the sides or the back or anything like that. This is like a Hollywood. Remember those where they have the front of the building, but that's it?
Yeah.
They've seen that. It's like, why have the back? Because you're not going to actually film anything in the back. So they create just the front. Ever have seen those?
Yeah. Like a set?
Like a set, yes.
Isn't that what we did yesterday?
Yeah, but I didn't give you time for it.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it right.
Okay, so because the houses were on each and every side.
Right. So and just do the front. You try to get you can do an extrude even. Like if I wanted to create the front of the house, maybe I wouldn't even start with a cube. Plane would be a good one to start with. And if I do a rotate about what's green? RY 90, like that. Do an S for scale, bring it up like that. And then if you do the view from the correct side, and it's off of you see the numpad. So you could do, here's 1, 2, my numlock on, 2, 3, up. 3, 1, 7, 1, 3, 7. So there's 3. So 3s, I'm sitting right here, aren't I? So once I got that view, once I do an extrude in edit mode, if I go into edit mode, I can come up here. And there's lots of different ways you can do this. You could do an E for extrude up here. And then select, I got this selected, hold down my shift key, select this vertex. I do F to create an edge between them. And if I select this one, do an F, then I got that part of the house. Remember those pictures we looked at yesterday? They had kind of the eaves going up like that? That's how you can get that. If I come over here and I have this edge selected, so I better select the edge. We can do an E for extrude and have it go off. Well, let me try it again. Do an E for extrude, and then I'll do a what am I going to do? A G. We'll try it again. Select that, do an E for extrude. I guess I just moved to the side. I'm trying to remember what I thought it was G. Can I choose my vertex? Here, do a, E for extrude. Come up here. Select this, and then do a F, create the edge. Create all three of those, and then create the face goes there. Now, in addition to that, I want you to have a yard. So you have a plane down there, and you put a grass image on the yard. And then last is I'll have you have a ball that has image on it, and you're going to create an animation of a ball rolling across the grass. When I said you don't have to get real fancy, you could if you wanted to. You remember how we created grass? Like if I go back to object mode, and did we not create grass in here? Oh, okay. I ought to show that to you. Grass is just hair. But you have to apply the color to it and so forth. You know, like if I had, so in your case, just grab a picture of grass off the Google image. But in case you're curious, you do your add mesh. So say I had that there. You know, if I had this, and then I did my space bar quick fur, that'd probably be the easiest way. Assuming I had the appropriate render, what is that? And the color, what would that look like? Grass. Yeah. So now I couldn't tell you the exact settings. You know, they give you exact settings what it should look like to be a little bit more realistic. Like grass is kind of thicker than hair, isn't it? So I'll have to look up a YouTube video on that to find what should the settings be. But you know, after you came up with your grass, you come over here and you'd work with your materials, texture, and so forth to get that. But again, you don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and stop the recording here.